Purpose of this video is to examine the rear suspension components of this 1993 Isuzu Trooper. The reason is, if I'm going to keep this thing, I want to make sure that everything is in good shape or get it repaired. Now, from what I've found on the internet in terms of what I'm looking at, let's see, this is the stabilizer bar, and it's recognizable because it starts off on the side and then it curves upwards and goes to the other side. But the major component of that it also attaches to is this here, which is the stabilizer control arm right there, and you can see where it attaches right at the tip of the pointer there. Right there. So that's the rear stabilizer bar, and as I look around, I don't know what this thing is here, which is attached to the frame. This seems to be just a cross piece here. And of course the axle, rear axle here. And I believe that this is the muffler. And let's see, the shocks here and the springs right behind that here. And then if you look this way, this huge differential in the rear, much bigger than on the Jeep. The other thing of interest is this thing here, which I don't know what that is, but as you can see there, the rubber is sort of worn out a bit. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Now when I take it to my regular shop, they say, oh, don't worry about it. And I said, and I told them that, well, when I see old decayed rubber breaking off like that, it does give me something to worry about. So I'll have to take that to another shop to replace that rubber bushing there. And there are two of them, as you can see here. Then this is another cross piece here. Focus, and then I assume this box over here is transfer case and the catalytic converter. And of course you have these metal plates on this Trooper S, which is their base model. So the underside for all those years looks pretty good. And I'm assuming that this thing here is the brake cable going to the back. So let's take a look at it from the rear of the vehicle. This is the view of the rear suspension from the rear of the vehicle. It's easier to see the springs here. This thing is called a lateral arm or a lateral rod, which goes all the way across and attaches just like this on the far side or the other side of the axle housing. This appears to be some kind of a bump stop because it's made of some stiff rubber. It's right next to the spring, and it's on this platform here where it could hit and give some shock absorption. This is that stabilizer bar arm attachment, which you can really see much better here. This is then the stabilizer bar back here. Let's see, I'll have to move. So this is the stabilizer bar. This is the stabilizer arm, which attaches to that. And this is the bump stop, the springs, the lateral rod here. And what else is of note? And this is the attachment of that trailing arm thing from the rear. Of course, the huge differential here. This is the gas tank in the way. If I can get behind that, we can see that huge differential again. And this is that lateral rod here that's going all the way across. But what I wanted to try to see is this trailing arm right over here. It attaches to the housing for the rear axle, and then it attaches to the body further up that way. And all of these other things under here, I don't know what they are. And again, the gas tank has a protective rock slider on it as well. Again, a testament to how they built this Isuzu back then. And I think it's Isuzu's loss to have abandoned the SUV market in the US. They should have just fixed what Consumer Reports was having a hissy fit about, which most of us haven't had any trouble with rollovers. I think you'd have to reach long and hard to find one, and then you'd find that the person who rolled over was doing something stupid. So if anyone has any comments on what I would need to do to get this up to par, there's that cross piece too. Cross member, cross arm, which is there for other things to attach, and I guess to stabilize the frame also. So that's about what I can show of the rear suspension components of this 1993 Isuzu Trooper S. It wasn't my plan on this video to show anything about the front suspension, but so I can't name all the parts here, or very few of them. What it looks like to me is, let's see, this must have something to do with steering. course, this, I do know this is a shock absorber here. This is the front stabilizer bar, and how do I know that? Because there's the stabilizer control arm here. So that I can do. This is part of the frame. Let's see, where is that connected to? This has a name too, that the stabilizing arm is attached to. And the steering, the boot here. And all of these things here, which I just don't know what they are. But again, I wasn't prepared to show any of the front suspension. I assume this is the front differential. With the transfer case behind that. And the front axle right there. Front differential there.